Hello everybody, this is Marino from Marino's Mysteries. Nice to see you again. Some people have been asking what I've been up to because I haven't been on YouTube for a while. And it's because I just got fed up with my computer stuff and my phone stuff and everything. It just wasn't doing the trick. So, as you may be able to see here, I have all kinds of cool stuff. And we're going to be building a computer. So, I'm going to put my glasses on and I'm going to explain some of this stuff as I'm going along. It should be not that difficult. I haven't made a computer since the days of the TRS-80. And for you guys that really don't know what that is, it's one of the first home computers that came out. It was a plastic shell with a monitor in the plastic shell, and part of the plastic shell included a keyboard, and it didn't have any operating system on it. It just had the raw materials. You had to take a floppy disk and put the operating system in. There was no memory, there was nothing. This was before the internet, this was before everything. So, yeah, it was a long time ago. So, what we're going to start with is this nice motherboard. It's a B550M Plus CWI FD. Now, what this is, and this came from Amazon, it's an ASUS. So they're a pretty good company, and they should be easy to deal with. I'm going to open it up and show you what it looks like. Get my letter opener here, and we will get that open, get that open. There's a lot of tape along the bottom here. You know what? I'm not going to use the big letter opener. I'm going to use the little one. There. A little easier to deal with. They have really taped this one closed. Like, I don't know if something's gonna try and escape, or if they didn't want somebody to get into it. It's kind of interesting why this was so taped up. And here is right from the start, there's a couple of baggies taped to the cover, which is kind of interesting. Extra standoffs, I believe. Extra standoffs and maybe some kind of a foot. I don't know. And here's some more stuff. Oh, the Wi-Fi antenna. There we go. Wi-Fi antenna. And here is the heart of the whole operation. This is the motherboard. I'm sure you've heard of that before. Here's some cables, the shield, a couple of books, user manuals. Oh, I even have a CD. Ooh, and we got some stickers. Ooh, huh? Look, stickers. And more paperwork. I don't have much for nails here. Now, we're gonna put this back together. Because I'm going to do a lot of the work on a mostly static-free surface. Now, it's a good idea to put a static mat down and to have a wrist or some kind of a cuff attached to the static mat so that you don't blow anything up. Now, back in my day, 100 years ago, when electronics were new, we were just coming out of the tube era. The chips were much more sensitive to static. And I did blow some up. When I mean blow some up, I mean you touch them and gazappo, things are gone. So, trying not to touch anything on the board. Here's the board. May not look like much to anybody that's not familiar, but this is where, let's see, this square piece is where the brains of the motherboard go. That's where the chip goes. And then we have some places for memory. Here we have some places for the graphics card. We have a place for the 1 terabyte drive chip that I got, and everything looks good here. Okay, let's see, we've got our outputs here, we've got that. Okay, I'm just, there's really no procedure, there's no set rules to which goes first or anything like that, but I'm going to start with some of the most easy stuff, and part of that is going to be, there. This is an NVMe 1.3. It's a 1 terabyte drive, and it's a SSD, solid state drive, which means that there's no moving parts. Another nice thing about it, it's going to help with the cable management a bit because there's no cables. And the drive is going to go right underneath this cover. Now some of these people, if you watch them, are going to have these fancy tool kits and things like that. You know, that's okay. And right here is where that's going to go, the SSD. So, the solid state drive. And we're going to take this out, like this. Come on. And there's the back of it. And there's the front of it. And you can see that it has all the information and the specs that are needed. Now, to insert this, it's not too difficult. You will see on the connector here that there is a notch for this, and this has a notch. So that's where it's going to go in. And it's going to slide in kind of like this, and then down. And you're going to want to push not very hard. See, that slides right in nice, and down it goes. Now you might say, well, what's going to hold it in? This is actually a heat shield. Not a heat shield. This is a, oh boy. See, my mind is going. This is it distributes the heat. You're not going to get much heat off these memory cards, but it will dissipate heat sink. That's what I'm trying to think of. Heat sink. So you peel this off so that it can make nice contact, and we put this, make sure that's lined up, and we put that in that hole. And we do a little bit of screw there. This in this hole. Now, especially when you're dealing with stuff like this, you really don't want to strip any of these threads, so you want to back them off first until they click. And I've done something horribly wrong here. Get it in the hole. There. Hear that little snap? You hear that snap going the wrong way, and then you put it in through hole. Okay. You got to be kidding me. Okay. Don't have to be super tight. I need a little garbage thing here someplace. Okay. Now, let's go to all right. Since this thing doesn't have a shield on it, usually there's a shield where this computer chip goes, and this one doesn't have one. So we're going to open this nice Ryzen 5000 series processor. And this is not the X. This is just the regular 560 AMD Ryzen 560. It's a 6-core, 12-thread processor. So there she is. More paperwork. I think I get a sticker for that one too. Now this you want to be very careful of. Okay, this is the memory. There are no pins here. All the pins are here. And it's very important that nothing damages any of these pins, because it would be impossible for me to fix them. If they were bent, maybe a little bit, but they're very delicate, very fussy. And this is the cooler that goes on top of the memory, the computer chip, CPU, and keeps it cool. So what it looks like it's got some nice screws. Okay. Do I see any plastic on here? Oh, no, I see some thermal paste already on here. I've got some of my own. I don't know where it ended up, but yeah, I got some of my own thermal paste. We're going to go with this one. So, how do we install this? Very delicately. There's a lever here. Can't really show you. Oh, yeah, I can turn it this way. There's, try not to, there's a lever here, and you just pull it to the side and lift it up. Now, you need to look at the board. Again, not touching the actual circuit board. There needs to be an indicator on here, and the indicator is right here, and there needs to be an indicator on the chip. And the chip, this is where it gets very, very careful. You gotta be. And they call it a golden triangle. Right up here is the golden triangle. And that goes on where the indicator is. So we need to turn it just a bit. And try and set this right in there perfectly. Uh-oh. I can't. No. Oh boy, what am I doing here? Was that supposed to come up? I don't think so. No. Oh. Oh. I was off just a hair. When I got that just right, dropped right in. Nice. And then we just take this lever and push it back down. Something's not right, because that's not gonna, no, there's nothing holding that in there. Oh. Okay. Okay, maybe, oh, this, wow, I don't know if I like that. This is a strange, the only thing holding that in there is going to be the power supply. I mean the cooler. This doesn't match up. This shows that I haven't done this for a while. So I looked at the paperwork and it says, you know, it should work. Here's the thing. These clips that are on here, these holders that are on here are designed for a specific type of machine, heatsink. And what threw me off right from the start is that most of the computer chips that I've seen, the CPUs, have a shield on them. And when you take this lever and pop it up, it has a mechanism on it. It has a holder on it so that it holds the CPU down. There is none on this. So it kind of freaked me out. And I have tried everything I could think of to get that to come up. And it just doesn't. Now, what I discovered is that this hold down needs to come off. And this leaves 4 screws. If you hold the heat sink this way, the holes will match up. If you hold the heat sink this way, they won't match up. So, there is thermal paste on here. Apparently, this is designed so that this heatsink is going to hold the computer chip in there. Quite frankly, I haven't seen one like that before. So I have to be very careful getting this in the right holes. Okay, that one. So, okay, 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 hey, tight. Now, this is a 4-pin connector, and it should go will you stop? Okay. Got the fan plugged in. Seems tight. Good. Cable management for me is going to be nothing too fancy, maybe nothing at all. I don't know. Okay. What else? Oh, well, there's not really too much else to do except the memory. I will put, I've got 2 T-Force DDR4 Delta RGB. These are a 16 gigabyte kit. DDR4 3200 3200 with a CL16. Okay, now let's try and put the memory slots in here. Want to pull the tabs over. There's a notch here that will go, you can see a notch in the board. So if I get one side in, the other side should okay, these have to go pretty much in there, right straight. I had another one. Nope. And these are RGB. RGB means red, green, blue, and that means that they will light up when we get power on them. And so we'll take this tab, and the tab is already taken. Slide that in. So, you see me touching stuff. I'm trying to make sure that if I accidentally touch the board, there won't be any static electricity. Every time you know how sometimes you're in the house and you go and you hit a light switch or you touch something that's, well, I can draw an arc a couple of good inches. And like I've said before, I have blown up some chips. And so I'm ill prepared for actually working on stuff without the proper shielding. So, or that's why I wonder what that is. Try not to touch. Oh, that's nothing. It's weird. I've never seen them do that before, but see, this is more of a gaming PC, and I'm going to be doing video processing with it. So this is on a scale of 1 to 10 from what I had been using. This is a 7 or an 8. What I was using was a 3. So we're taking a big step forward. And I could upgrade very easily if this doesn't work out too well. And oh, by the way, if you are watching this video, it means that all of this stuff worked, because I'm going to process it on this computer. So, now I've got the hard disk, not the hard disk, but I've got the memory in here, the 1 terabyte memory. I have the RAM memory. I have the CPU in here. I've got the cooler in here. Still a little sketchy. I found how to plug in the fan that keeps the CPU cool. Now, the computer chip, because I'm not going to be gaming with it, it's not going to be running that hot. I don't think, anyway, with the video processing that I'm going to be doing, because the old system did it. It just didn't have a graphics card in it, so it would take forever. So I'm pretty sure that this will be fine. Now we've come to the point to figuring out what, oh, another thing, you want to hold on to the holder for the CPU. They're pretty much indestructible unless you actually physically damage them. But if you have to sell it, it's always a good thing to do, but if you have to send it back, it's a good thing to have the holder. I've got bits, and I've still got a couple of standoffs here and a foot. I don't know what that could be used for. I've got the thermal paste that I'm not going to need. I got some paperwork that I may need. I got stickers. Oh, I got TG Force. I've got Tough Gaming. I've got all this stuff. Okay, this is something that's going to come up really soon here. So now we have to decide, well, not we, I'm going to decide, because by the time you're watching this, it's already been decided. I have to decide what comes next. And more than likely, we're going to start putting the stuff in the case. I'm very excited about the case. I kind of like the looks of it. It's actually bigger than I thought it was. I was hoping for a great big honking full-size tower that just, this one is what they call a mini, and I was thinking, well, I'll settle for the mid in between. Can't find them, or can't find them in the style that I want. So I guess I will bring the case out. Yep, it is this box that you were looking at behind me. It is fancy. If you look at this, gives you a little bit of a rundown. This came out of Texas. It's called the Enermax Marble Shell. So, I will get my fancy letter opener. Oh. Okay. There it is. It is bigger than I thought. Now, the trick is, will I have enough room to put this card in there? I think so. It's not nearly as small as I was expecting the mini to be. So anyway, this has some lights in it. So it's going to have a nice pattern. Here are some of my controls right on the front and the top. Side panel, so you can see inside. It has 3 fans. I'll take this side tempered glass off because I'm going to need to get in there and it'll also make it a lot lighter. Let's not lose those. Tempered glass, don't want to. Okay, there we go. Not too heavy. And there you go. There you go. It's got a nice fan in the back. Throw the hot air out. 2 fans in the front. Two fans in the front. Let's see, can you see? The light's kind of weird here today. 2 fans in the front that'll suck some air in. And there is a magnetic dust filter on the top. So if I want to suck some air in that way, there is I'm looking for, what did he say, a feet on it? This has some bays already in here. The standoffs are already in place. Cable management has already been taken care of. There is a filter also on the bottom. So when the power supply sucks in air to keep itself cool, that'll be nice to keep the dust out. There is, I gotta figure out how to get this panel off. Oh, 2 screws. Okay, oh boy, let's move this over here behind me for right now. So I've got some more room to work with here. Come on there. These thumb screws aren't very thumb. And the side panel comes off. Oh, very nice. We have some cable management already done. This board here is a RGB controller, and I'm just going to make sure that the cables are tight. So as you can see, there is plenty of room for the cables. There is gotta figure out how to open this so that I can get the accessory box out. That's a carriage slide, whatever, for another hard drive, if need be. Oh, I got some nice stuff here. I got some nice cable ties, Velcro. I've got another manual on what to do. Of course, getting to it wasn't easy. I could have used some instructions on how to get to it. We have some various screws here, and we also have some more regular cable ties. I'm sure I'm going to be using some of the screws. I have to slide that back in there. So, as you can see here, this is open, okay? This is where you just saw the hard drives go. So these are hidden pretty good. The power supply is going to go there. So I'm just going to slide that in there. So that we can work with it a little bit as we're going along. This is a 550 watt bronze. A 580 plus bronze. 80 plus is a certification, meaning that it's supposed to be a reliable power supply. So it comes highly recommended. It has, yikes, cables, screws. So through the back end here, that was weird, felt like something was coming off. We have the main power supply. This is going to go to the motherboard, and and then, I don't know why I'm coughing so much, and then some of the peripheral power right here. I'm sure it'll be used. And so this can go in a bunch of different ways. Okay, a lot of people like to have it this way so that they can read what's on it. A lot of people like to have it in this way so that you can see the 550. Like I said, the fan is on the bottom, so that's kind of important to suck air in. I think that I'm going to put it in this way, and I'm going to slide it in from the back side. There. See how nice and easy that was? And then I'll figure out where these cables will go once I get the motherboard mounted. Now what I have to do is find a way this is the power cord for the, now that's 3 screws. I think I can put this one in too. 3 screws will hold it fine. It's not really going anyplace. But I'd like to get this one in there too. And it seems to be cooperating. And we're done with power supply placement so far. So, let's see how many I'm actually going to need. I think I'll have to have 9, but who knows? I might only need 6. Now, to do this properly, this should really be laying down. And then this goes this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I can't believe I've got one that small. So here's the thing. You can go along with pressure from the people to buy fancy tools. I've had these tools for 100 years. And as you can see, haven't needed anything for this job anyway that I don't have. Did it surprise me? Yes. Okay. It took me a couple of minutes to sort these screws out. I got some coarse thread and I got some fine thread. And it appears to me that the fine thread are the ones that I should be using on these standoffs to hold the motherboard in. Fine. So, now, what should I do? Well, here's the thing. This is going to be right at the back of the computer, which is facing you. So if there's anything to plug in to the board itself, now's the time to do it. Another thing that's going to be kind of a pain is this part of the board is going to be very close to the bottom. So, if there's anything that I need to plug in there, again, now's the time to do it. Because these drive slots are going to be in the way, which I think I can take care of by removing them. I think that might be a good idea. Ah, don't need a screwdriver for that. I'll have a box of extra parts. I'll have a box of extra parts. So, now's the time to start thinking about putting in this 24-pin plug. So, I guess I'll run the 24-pin cable in now. And I'm going to say that since there's a clip on this side, it goes in this way. There. So, a lot of cable management goes into these things, but there it is. Doesn't look too bad. I'm just hoping that I've got most of the cables in the right place. So, now it's time for the graphics card. This, some might say, is the most important part, definitely the most expensive part, So we're definitely going to take care unboxing this one. This is the Swift 210. It is a 1080. It has 8 gigabytes of memory. It is a PCIe 4. It's an AMD Radeon RX 6600. There we go. It's packed very well. Pretty snazzy looking piece of equipment. The way that it's packaged. And yes, this isn't the biggest, baddest piece of a GPU graphics card that there is, but it is surprisingly affordable after the last couple of years. So I'm very happy. Now, they didn't have a graphics card in the other computers that I've been running, so this will be a big step up anyway. If I don't break it taking it out of the package. Oh yeah, this is one of the important things to do with these things is to peel this plastic off. Because it will affect the way things run. So that's the deal right there. This one is a little bit thicker. When it comes off, just gotta make sure you get it all off. So there it is. Now, it's a interesting looking little sucker. We're going to something doesn't look quite right with this. Oh, I see. They got a nice little cover on the connectors. Okay. So, I'll put that down. Going to make sure there's no cables directly. Oh, this fan cord might be a problem. Gonna have to move the fan. Anyway, that's good enough. I'll cable manage this cord a little bit. I will find out where they want this card. Looks like it's going to be the second hole down. So gotta take that off. Gotta knock out that. Fit this into the motherboard slot, making sure that nothing is in the way. There. I mean, 8-port plug here, which is 8-port there. Okay, put the CARDEA again. With the cable run. This card's hard to grab because those fans are right where you want to grab it. Okay, let's see if I can get actually not going to tie anything down until I do have a cord problem. I don't have an HDMI. I have never used one. Of course, I'm not going to be able to see if the display works. Shit. Hope that wasn't anything. So, as far as I've gotten, that's it. I can't believe that I didn't get a cable. Hey, how's it going? I found an HDMI cable. I was testing out a Roku, so I decided to use that cable. It's very short, so I've had to move the new computer over to the mess here. And don't look at that mess, it's all gonna change. So I've plugged the computer in. To the outlet, I am now going to switch it on. Let's all pray. Oh, lights. Very good. Let's see, power switch. And, ooh, I got an indicator light, good. And come on, baby. Oh, the RAM is lighting up. Very exciting. The CPU fan is going. The exhaust fan is going. And the intakes are not lighting up and they're not going. Huh. All right. The GPU fans are going. So let's see if I get a post. I'll be happy. And I get a post. So I'm happy. Apparently, I've got power up here. So, I guess I'm going to have to track down that wire. There's one wire off someplace. Then we can get this thing lighting up and looking really sharp. And I'll get everything loaded in. And we'll have a nice show. Hey, here we are. Oh, look at that. I've cleaned off a nice place for the new computer. It's all put together. It's sitting here looking pretty. There's a light on in it on all the time. There's the back end, all wired up. And here we go. Look at that. And then we're just waiting for a post. Shouldn't take too long. Boom! Look at that. Some nice RGB lighting on there. The front's pretty cool. Huh? Top notch. Took a lot longer than it should have, but hey, I think it was worth it. There it is. All programmed, ready to go. It's the cat's meow.